Joining me in the room podcast to talk about his pro MMA debut happening this Saturday night at Combat Zone 80 is Josh Medeiros. What's up, my man? First time having you on the show. Welcome, my man.
What's going on, man? It's good to finally meet you. I know I've seen you around and everything, but we never got the chance to speak, and thanks for having me on here.
Definitely, man. I've had a few of your training partners on, a couple of your coaches on here. So nice to have you on and get to know you and talk about this big step you're taking on Saturday. But Josh, let's first talk about it, man. Your last fight was an amateur fight where you captured the Combat Zone flyweight amateur title back last November. You won that with a third-round TKO, ended up coming away with an injury. But let's get to that fight, because since that was your most recent one, man, how'd you feel in there, and how cool was it to win, the title for Combat Zone?
I mean, it just felt like it was like a stepping stone in my journey, like it kind of reassured me that I'm heading down the right path and doing the right thing. And that last fight, it was starting to come together for me, and I just didn't have that, wrestling tunnel vision, where I just wanted to get after the dude, and I was more calm and collected. So I was happy with that turnout, and I'm ready for the next phase of my career.
Well, looking at your amateur career, you fought a lot of tough dudes, man. The last fight being Brendan DeMora, who's fought a ton of tough dudes himself, scrappy kid. Took him out in the third round. I know your amateur debut was against Andrew Valdina, who is now 4-0 as a pro, knocking people out in the first round. So you've taken on some stiff competition. Has that been the goal, to get that work in, to, not take necessarily easy fights, get that work in so you can be prepared for this, this big fight on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. You could say that, because you got to prepare yourself for the big show, So fighting dudes that have no business being in there doesn't do anything for you if you're taking this seriously, And, yeah, that's definitely like losing my first fight. Definitely, you learn more from your losses than your wins. It's a pretty cliche, but that one loss, and then I just got right back to work and got 3 straight wins. I would have liked to have a couple more amateur fights, but it's tough in my weight class, and just having my prior experience in wrestling and stuff. I guess, I don't know, maybe people didn't want to take the fight and stuff, but everything happens for a reason, and I'm ready for my pro debut.
Well, you are a natural 125. I fought most of your fights there, a couple of catchweights. You did fight a 135-pound fight, I do believe, and that was your amateur debut, fighting, I would imagine, out of your weight classes. 125, I know this is going to be a catchweight of 130, but is the flyweight division your path in this pro career?
For sure, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I am definitely a natural 25-pounder. I know these dudes fighting at 35 walk around at almost 165 or whatever. So I walk around at 145. So I'm definitely a 25-pounder.
Now, as far as I would imagine getting these catch weights, with this being a catch weight as your pro debut, it's hard to get matchups at 125. Like you said, some people don't want to fight you, especially, the guys that you fought and the success you had. As far as this fight coming up on Saturday, it's a 130-pound catch weight. How did that come about? Was that an agreement between both you guys? Was it from David's side, or, how'd you come about with, the catch weight?
I'm not quite sure. I just that just was proposed to me, and I just said yes right away. And 130, 125 makes no difference to me.
Well, I know as Dave is basically a natural 125 or so. It should be a pretty, you guys should be about the same size in there. As far as going against David, how was that process brought along? Do they give your coaches some names? and then they come to you with them. Like, how'd you get matched up with Dave? Because he's been on the shelf for a little while with fights dropping through. He had his pro debut back in I think 2021 for CES. How'd you get matched up with him?
I think there was like one other kid they brought up, but then he ended up not being able to fight. So he was the second name that popped up, and you gotta fight. I gotta fight everyone in New England anyway. So whoever it is, let's go.
Now, when his name popped up, do you remember him? I would imagine, because he was still fighting as an amateur when you were starting as an amateur. He actually fought for Cage Titans also. He fought Mitch Raposo a couple of times as an amateur. What do you know about David, and how excited are you to go against him? Because he's a proven amateur, won a title or two himself, and, he fought a lot of tough dudes himself. How do you feel about this matchup and getting matched up with Dave?
So, actually, this is going to be the first time I fight someone I know personally. I know David. After my first fight with Andrew Valdina, he had some nice words to say to me and came up to me and everything. So I have respect for him in that regard. But, he's, like, pretty balanced all around, whatever, Muay Thai. I think he's, a brown belt in Jiu-Jitsu. But I don't really care about any of that. I just believe I'm more like physically dominant, and I'm going to show that next weekend.
Well, as far as your background, you did mention wrestling. What is your background in martial arts? Is it just wrestling? Did you wrestle as a kid, high school? Maybe go to college a little bit. Where'd you get your start in kind of making your MMA career here?
So I started wrestling when I was like young, like 10 years old or whatever, and I had a lot of success with that through high school. I won state championship all 4 years, and then I was gonna wrestle in college, but I tore my labrum in my shoulder junior and senior year, and I was just like, kind of had enough. I was like, I don't know, whatever. But then a few years back, I actually went to Thailand with a friend of mine, and we were training Muay Thai out there, and I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna get back into this shit and make a run at this.
I
fell back in love with martial arts.
Was KTA the first? Was that where you got your start as far as training, or were you involved with a couple other gyms before you ended up with those guys?
I actually started training at Sidio Tong because I was living in the city at the time, and my best friend brought me over there, and I trained there maybe like 6 or 7 months. Had my first fight. I was cornered by Sidio Tong guys. Then I bought a house up in New Hampshire, so I can't be going down there every day, So I ended up linking up with Walter and those guys over there, and it ended up being a great decision. I love it over there. The energy is like just great over there. It's not like a lot of these other gyms where it's like every man for himself. So and all that starts with Walter. Guy's the man,
Well, I know, they're having a lot of success with the young kids that they have in there. Who are some of your major training partners that's helping you get ready for this fight?
I got Mike Woods, Mike Jolliker, Connor Buckets, kid with the tattoos on his head.
Yeah,
he's really technical guy and mimics my next opponent really well. And I got some good grappling partners. I got a lot of kids, like college wrestling kids, coming up to help me train. And then I got the jiu-jitsu guys. So I got a great support system. I'm really thankful for that.
Well, that last fight you had back in November, you came away with the title, but you did have an injury in that fight. In 2022, you fought a ton. I mean, coming off that debut loss, you fought like 4 or 5 times in 2022 up until the end of the year in November. Came away with that injury. You were fighting every 2 to 3 months. Was that going to be?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Was that going to be
I
like?
also had 2 guys pull out too.
Yeah,
so I could have had more fights.
So that injury kind of like, just put you on the shelf from having a huge 2022. How did that affect you? I mean, here you are, you're going along, you got a ton of fights. You just won the Combat Zone Amateur Flyweight title, and then now you're on the shelf for a little while. Was it kind of now you look back at it, a good thing because you got to rest a little bit because you were busy as fuck in 2022. What was your take on that whole time, you're on the shelf there with an injury?
Well, I mean, it's to start with, it's pretty depressing being injured in the winter time because like that's all the only thing that keeps you sane in the winter is being able to go to the gym and shit. So, I mean, yeah, it was pretty rough, but once I was able to do a little bit, I was able to get better in so many other categories, like, you know what I mean, like, because I wasn't able to like spar or whatever. So like I was able to work on my conditioning. Like I've been building that up since like March, just working on that and just punching with one arm and working on my footwork and everything. So it's like a blessing in disguise in a way. It all, you know what I mean? You got to do what you can with what you got. And yeah, so I'm obviously ready to go now.
Now coming away with that, go ahead.
I gave myself time, so I gave myself some time, and I'm to get ready for June. I'm good to go now.
Excellent, my man. Well, coming off that, that last fight, was the decision next gonna be that you were gonna be making your pro debut? Like, if you weren't injured, would you have fought like maybe another couple of amateur fights, maybe defended that title, or were you thinking pro debut after that fight?
I got offered I was injured, but I got offered a title fight for Combat FC. That didn't, but I was injured, so I couldn't do that. And like I was told though, like by like Calvin and whoever, like these guys that have a name in MMA, people that you want to listen to, and they told me I was ready, so that played a part in my decision.
Well, your last two.
It was just like I would have done one more fight if anything of amateur, and then I was gonna go pro.
And Combat Zone seems to be treating you well. You had your last two fights for them. One was a kickboxing fight where you came away with a win with that, and then you had that flyweight title. How excited are you to get back there Saturday night? It's right down the street from you, I imagine. You guys are huge there with Walter and that whole camp there. How excited are you get back to Combat Zone and make that pro debut?
I can't even describe it in words, really. I've been dying to get back in there. I love this shit, I truly do. And I get to fight in front of all my people, my friends, all my family. And yeah, they've been good to me. No complaints. And yeah. Only, 6 more days?
Yeah, just a few more, my man. As far as training partners, you have any other, buddies on the card with you? Or are you running solo for the team?
No, we got 6 guys.
Wow. Holy shit.
KTA rolls in crew deep.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Who?
Yeah, we got a lot of guys.
Are any of them making their amateur debut, or they've already been in there and they're just keeping the train rolling?
I believe 2 of them are making the amateur debut, and then we got Joe Peters, Julian Menjivar, little Julian, and who else is on there? That can't think off the top of my head, but it's like 2 out of the 6 are making their debuts, but the other 4 have already been in there, and we've all been we've all been working.
Excellent, my man. Walter,
no one's taking any shortcuts.
Now,
ready for Saturday night.
Now, as far as this fight coming, June 24th. You were busy in 2022, making your pro debut. Now, how busy are you looking to stay, toward the end of the year, to take off where you left off from that last fight?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to fight. I got to worry about one fight at a time, but I'm trying to stay active. I got some weddings, unfortunately, this summer and fall, but I don't care. I'll work around them and I plan on staying active. I want to get. I'd like to be a 2-0 by the time I turn 30 in October.
Well, this is a start, man. Saturday night, bro. Huge, huge, huge fight ahead. I saw the poster. I don't know if that's the exact lineup, but it looks like you're pretty deep in the lineup. You'll be fighting kind of later in the night. Is that correct, or has not things not been set yet?
I'm co-main event.
So. That's pretty damn special there. I mean, you know, making your pro debut. You know, co-main event, combat zone right in your backyard, man. That's pretty good. Pretty good for your pro debut there.
Yeah, it's a stacked amateur card, but I'll take a co-main event. Like I'll take that. You know what I mean? So that just means I gotta live up to it, and I'm ready to do that.
Well, we got about 6 days left before that night. What's left to do in the training camp? Is it just getting the weight down, or what goes on this final week?
Just getting my weight down, and do get a sweat going, do some just 20-minute pad sessions or whatever, situational stuff. It's not much. You know what I mean? Same routine as usual. And but yeah, nothing crazy. No crazy training this week. Just focus on the weight cut mostly.
Nice. Well, last couple of questions. I saw that you did go away with Walter. Where'd you guys go? And was it for training purposes? A little, a little fun, a little mix of both. Talk to me about where you went with Walter and the experience you had.
Yeah, so Walter's Peruvian. He's from Chincha, Peru, and we went down there and we did seminars. We went to 4 different gyms, and just doing networking, and this guy is so motivated. He's got a plan, always has a plan and shit. So took me and Mike Jolliker down there. We did a lot of sparring, a lot of training, exchanging information, and we had a good time as well. But I've never we were on the go. We were only there for a week, so we're just on the go constantly. It was we were like a band on tour. It was fucking wild. We came back in one piece though, so that was good.
Yeah, I saw Mike Jolliker. I follow him. We follow each other online. Yeah. And he was posting a lot of stuff about it, and it was pretty funny. Some of the stuff, one thing was I think he put a cockfight on or something. I'm at a bar. I'm at a bar one night, and all of a sudden I see this fucking cock. Yeah, that's what I say. I was saying to my buddy, I said, he's going live with a cockfight. I said, they're going to shut him down. And the next thing I know, it was gone. The video was gone. I'm like, they got him. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, and you know what I mean? I was with my buddy, and he's like, dude, that's what they do down there. I mean, that's a big thing. You know what I mean? That betting on the Roosters there, man.
Yeah, there wasn't one dull moment there. It was definitely a life experience, to say the least.
Excellent, my man.
A lot of funny shit, a lot of good training, and yeah, I'm happy we made it back in one piece, healthy, and ready to get ready for this combat zone card.
Awesome. Well, that's a great outlet to have, Walter, taking you to special places and introducing you to things out of your box. I would have to say. All right, my man. I'm going to ask you one more question, and then I'm going to let you give your shout outs, social media, any thank yous. And, I know there's still tickets on sale and all that. But last thing I want to ask you about Saturday night is, what do we expect to see from you, my man? It's, your first fight back since that injury and capturing their amateur title. You're going against Dave DeReo, a very proven amateur, who needs a win. He lost his pro debut. So what do we expect to see from you on Saturday night at Combat Zone 80?
You're going to see a professional fighter in there, a complete fighter. I'm ready for the stage. And I'm just looking forward to showing, instead of talking about it, I just want to go in there and just show everybody. Yeah, I've been waiting for this moment. I'm gonna take full advantage of it. You're gonna see striking, you're gonna see the grappling, you're gonna see everything.
Last thing there, man. Social media. Shout outs. I would imagine you probably have a sponsor or two because I know your training partners, they've been shouting a couple things out. So let it go, man. And I'll let you get back to your last week of training, man.
Shout out to First Harvest Hemp. Shout out to 8191 Creatives. Shout out to Flawless Flooring. Shout out to L&B Piping. Shout out to Sarah Medeiros, my cousin's wife, her company. And shout out to I don't know, cut it there. I don't know.
Everyone that's helped me get where I am today, man. That's all you have to.
And shout out to everyone who's helped me get to where I am right now.
There you are. Social media, and then I'm going to put you on the spot for 1 second. So, social media, so people can check you out. And I know you got an Instagram with some fight shit on there. So throw it out there.
Yeah. Follow me at Medeiros.125 on Instagram.
All right, last thing before I let you go. What's going on in the bottom there? You got a kid down there? What's at your feet right now? Oh, where'd he go?
My feet.
I lost you for
no kids running around over here.
I thought you had like a pet or something. Like unless it's you. I'm like, what's at his feet right now? I thought you probably had an animal or
That's just my third leg.
Oh, all right. I thought you had like a toddler like crawling through your feet. It happens, man. I got cats, I got dogs, I got kids jumping in the field. I was just gonna, if you had a kid running around, I was gonna have him, throw him on the camera here, but we don't want to rush things on you.
No, man, don't be putting me in the spot like that. I gotta worry about fighting. I can't be,
Hey man, last thing, you're doing pretty well, man. You bought a house. You got a house. You just about 30 years old. You're doing well from yourself. You're making your pro debut. You got the world by the kahunas here.
Yeah, that's because I don't got any babies running around.
All right, my man. I'm gonna let you go, bro. But we'll be watching you Saturday night, man. I'm gonna be doing a fight companion from here. A couple of my guys will be at Combat Zone covering that show, so they'll be giving a lot of love to Calvin and all the fighters that way. So, man, appreciate for you coming on, man. We'll have you on again. Next time I have you on, I'll have you on the live show on a Wednesday night, and we can, it'll be after the fight. You can let loose a little bit and, talk about this, experience coming up on Saturday. So, Josh, man, pleasure getting to know you, bro. And, you have a ball Saturday night, man. It's great to see you making that debut.
Likewise, Steve. Thanks for having me on.
All right, my man.
Talking to you.
Yeah, definitely. We'll we'll bump into each other at the fights here and there. But until then, man, you have a blast Saturday night, and we'll talk real soon. All right.
All right, man. Be good.
All right, bro.